I'm Frank Powers, and this is Lifestyle Tucson, the program where I speak to our neighbors, the people behind the scenes of our amazing organizations that are 501c3 nonprofits. Our friends are informing you how they serve our community, and they're here to give you updates on future projects. Let's make some new friends today. Yeah. Almost 10 years ago, already in a public access television studio, some young whippersnappers began volunteering to produce content for Creative Tucson Channel 20. They would write, direct, and star in daily news shows, comedy specials, and even a 24-and-a-half-hour Christmas extra special by Hamburgers and Humbug to holly jolly nonsense. As time went on and creativity continued into a full-length feature film, game shows, and stage shows, these Tucson comedians created a quarterly Saturday Night Live style comedy show called Keep Tucson Sketchy. And today, I'm fortunate to speak with Allana Lopez, Collin Chomiak, board members for Keep Tucson Sketchy. Welcome on in.
Thank you, Frank.
Hey.
Mr. Powers.
As well as Joel Foster, president of Keep Tucson Sketchy. Da, 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 da.
Thanks for having us, Frank.
Anyway,
I think
all
you're
right.
separating me from them in that way, too. That's going to be helpful for our group chemistry.
Yeah, I like how you're way on the other side of the counter.
Did you engineer this so that I'm sitting, I'm like a
we
lifeguard?
Were gonna share a mic at one point.
Yeah,
They were. And you were going to have a much more elevated seat.
I had nothing to do with this.
Oh, I bet. That's why you were casually late.
Fashionably. All right, so anyway, let's get with it. It is super fun because, look, we're all best friends. And Keep Tucson Sketchy is the amazing sketch comedy show that has come out of everything that we started doing when we all first met. And I always do use a lot of our friendship and creative projects as the example for volunteering. Don't try to make your friends do the things that you want to do. Go make friends with the people doing the things you want to do. And I went down to that television studio, and that's how me and Joel met. And then we start doing projects together, and you meet the local comedians that then start getting involved in some of these projects. And then we all start working together. And really, you took it from there and created this amazing group that does put on the funniest sketch comedy shows that, honestly, I always go on and on about the writing. When I sit and get to watch the thread and how funny it all is because of the dynamic writing, it really is so incredible and really some of the funniest stuff anywhere at all. It is really difficult. And it's something that as a group, I feel you've really achieved. So Joel, why don't you give me the 101 on what Keep Tucson Sketchy is?
So as you said, it came from Channel 20. That went under, and we had all these people, creative energy, who wanted to keep creating stuff. And we said, why don't we do a show where we have live sketches and then we'll have videos, because we were kind of doing those things at the channel. And we realized, the screening room, it has a stage and has a movie screen. So we were able to kind of do this. So it's kind of has this steady flow to it. So there's always a live sketch. It cuts to a video, goes to a live sketch. So it's just very fluid in how it runs. And that was very important from the beginning. It's like no awkward pauses in between. It's just going to go. We have a celebrity host, Tucson celebrity host.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. For each show. And that's it. And that's the basics right there.
That's part of the show for sure. And that's almost the final product, because what's really exciting is what happens to make it all come together. Mm. And that's what's really important. So I want to talk to all of you about what it is to be writers, because being writers and working together in a collaborative effort to create something is very, very difficult. Is it not?
Oh, it's crazy. When on the show goes by so quick when we actually do it. It feels like just such a blip after months of work. You know, it becomes work, especially when you're edited. We edit really tight. Like we're looking at every line, every word in a lot of cases. And that part of it's definitely work, but it pays off. Like it's worth it. You put yourself through it and get paid nothing because it's, you see the end result of that. And that's comes from a lot of trust, because we are honest. Like it thickens your skin being part of the editing process, because we're just out there with it. Which we're all trying to make it stronger, the sketch funnier, and that's the end goal. And we all trust each other that that's what we're doing. There's no egos involved. And as to how we did that, I have no idea. I feel like there's just a lot of luck involved that we just, I think like you said, you found the people who were doing the thing you wanted to do, and just happened to be these people here.
I'll tell you, that's what I found when I talk to a lot of organizations is that's Tucson. That's the secret of Tucson. People are friendlier. We all get along. And even though we might have some of these moments, we get through some of those pain points to still have friendship and work on a creative thing together and are able to survive some of those things. So let's talk to some of our comedian friends right here. Is Allana, you write, and that's what you do. You're a stand-up comedian. You've been doing it a long time. Best of Tucson, I believe. Are you not?
Thank you so much. I haven't won, but I've been nominated.
Well done. That's right. Well, which is an honor. Which
It
is
is
an
an
honor.
honor.
And you can get the word out now. I'm not sure if you're allowed to campaign for that sort of thing, but she's not saying it. Remember, she's up for Best of Tucson right now. Best of Tucson comedian, right? Tucson Weekly. Go vote for some of your local favorites and get involved in what's going on with everybody happening here, especially our creatives. Tell me what it's been like for you when you got started with all this, because again, as a comedian, you're a solo performer. You're doing your own thing, writing your own stuff, gauging it with an audience, and then using that to be like, maybe I should change this, maybe I should change that. Then you come to a group, and it's like, we're going to change this entirely. And it's changed, but it still works, and you've survived some of that creative process, which I know some people have not as they've come along the way. How has it been like, and how did you get through that writing process?
I think I had a better time with it than most because I also do improv, and improv is a completely collaborative thing. Where you make something up on the spot with your friends, and then you hope that it goes in one direction and then it might go into another direction. And you're like, oh, okay, this was fun. Writing was kind of like that, whereas I would write and I would pitch a sketch. And normally when we're pitching sketches to each other, it's very collaborative because everyone will throw every single idea at you, even ideas that definitely aren't making the cut. And you just kind of nod and go, oh, okay, I'll take that into consideration. Thanks, guys.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, that happens. But
Why is she glaring at me when she said that?
That's a voice to use too, so you know that it's not getting in
it's
there.
when my customer service voice comes out and I'm like, oh my God, thank you for your feedback. But it's so good because then you take all those suggestions, you write a sketch. There's no malice in when we're like hard editing. It's not my joke is funnier. It's always about making the entire sketch as a whole better. So it's not, well, you need to follow what I want to do because I'm the head writer or something. It's more just like, hey, I think it'd be better if your guy said this. And so you just like roll with it. And 9 times out of 10, it's mostly the hard editing process that makes what you wrote better.
And I know that's certainly the term. It's the hard editing. And it just sounds like that. That's going to be the point. That's you stop pulling punches and make this what it's going to finally be. And then even when it goes from there, there becomes a point where you don't change it. You said, no, we did it. And we're not adding this or we're done with that part.
Yeah. And I've had friends who are like, oh, or I want to be a writer. And I'm like, no, you don't. It's you're funny and you can be an actor and you'll be really good at this. You do not want to come into the writing process because we are going to kill your darlings.
That's the phrase.
Yeah.
That's the phrase.
It helps you grow in a way, though, because I feel like when you first write a sketch, it's always the funniest thing in the world. You know, you think this is perfect. And then when you start poking holes in it, like, oh, you know what? Maybe this wasn't as great as I thought it was.
Right.
And then when you see that end result, like that objectively made this thing better. You know, if it didn't, we wouldn't continue to do it. So,
yeah. And the goal is always to be the funniest. Make it the funniest thing you can come up with. You know, when 9 people are hacking away at a thing, that's how you're going to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Collin, let's talk to you about a lot of what you offer as far as A, being very hysterical, but also kind of working a lot as the engineer that helps us get through a lot of these video sketches, sound effects live, doing that. That's called a Foley artist. I mean, oh, look at that. Oh, look at these fancy terms. Hang on.
And that's my resume.
Yeah. Pinky's out. So, but you do a lot of that. But how do you feel about like this big collaborative creative process and how it's been with what Keep Tucson Sketchy is?
It's really great because I'm just the machine that keeps it rolling. So I didn't mean that in like an arrogant way.
And I could
but
shut this
you're
thing
not.
down any second.
You're not wrong.
But it's like I have the power, but not to do what I want with it. So it's like they come to me with their sound effects that they want in there. I tell them how feasible it is, considering, okay, there's a lot of cues before that. Will it flow naturally within the sketch? Same with light cues. I know the limits of our venue, so if they want a bunch of strobe lights, I have to tell them, I'm sorry, like it's a great idea, but we can't achieve that for this show. Can you think of something else we could do instead? So that's where that power and machineness comes from.
And often those alternatives are better. Like when you have something, a constraint, getting around that sometimes even, it turns out better anyway. So
Yeah. And when it was kind of funny how before the first show started, I wasn't a part of the group yet. And it was the week before the show, Rich Gary, one of our friends and members, said, "Hey, dude, we have this show we don't know how to put together. Can you help us out?" And I'm like, yeah, I can. And it's been great ever since.
And that's how it goes, right?
Tell them about the plug in the first show.
Oh, okay. So I didn't know any softwares for production. So it was a week ahead of time. I didn't have time to research, so I was just using PowerPoint. And it worked. It worked great. Use PowerPoint if you can't afford the softwares. But at the theater, they didn't have audio out on their HDMI that was plugged into my computer. So we had to plug in a 3.5 jack. But that 3.5 jack was an adapter to a stereo jack. And it was buzzing, and I had to hold it at an angle the entire show. So I just sat there for an hour and a half, as still as I could be, so there was no buzzing and audio cutouts.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's my type of volunteer. So that's the way. What a good team. And I love everything that's always come out of the show. But really, it's seeing how it's made, knowing how hard it is to overcome those emotional hurdles for some, because it is a creative process and it can be quite tough when it comes to someone criticizing something you think's funny or something like that. So it's really neat to watch how it's still survived COVID.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we survived COVID because of the show.
Well said.
Because we had, we were meeting up every week and creating things, and it just gave us something to do.
Yeah.
And we could kind of satirize what was happening, the craziness in the world as that's happening. So I don't know. I feel like COVID didn't get the best of me because we had that going on.
That's a big deal. A lot of people missed what they needed was community.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing about what this is. Because also, it's a weekly thing you do. You meet up every week to have these meetings. So that's always keeping you together, right? And then it turns to this other thing. But we'll get into that in a moment. Because let's talk about, you do have an event coming up. Let's talk about August 30th. It's a Saturday. It's at Unscrewed Theater. If you want to listen to everything about Unscrewed Theater, I got an episode with them. You can listen anytime on demand over on YouTube. And you can go watch Keep Tucson Sketchy anytime on demand on YouTube, because you have a YouTube channel as well. People got to subscribe to that and follow you over on Instagram at I Imagine Keep Tucson Sketchy.
Ooh, can I plug a Patreon?
Do it up.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we have a Patreon. So if you want to support us, as little as $5 a month, $10 a month, you get a free ticket to the show. So it's
Pays for itself. Pretty much right there, just by helping out.
So it helps us a lot. We basically make enough to keep the show going. That's kind of how it works, which is, it's fine. We can keep the show going, but any additional support helps a lot. It's expensive with props and trying to feed the crew and that kind of stuff. So
well, it's real because it's a real production. That has been the thing of being able to watch it grow and then get those props and watch what develops into having better and better equipment. I've seen that grow, and just watch as a community share microphones and lavs and big lights that we know the other person has. Like, can I borrow your lights for a thing? Well, I'm going to go do a thing. And that's been a big part of it, where it's helped a lot of us in our other projects in this same vein of like media. Yeah,
that's what's been really cool about doing the video stuff is like other members have, they have interest in with the filmmaking part of it. And I don't know much, but I can show them the little I know. And then, more people know how to do sound and how to, light a shot and frame a shot and things like that. So that's been cool. It's been like, I've kind of learned what I was doing as we go. That's
constantly what it's been.
Yeah.
I think about the stuff from where it all did begin at that television studio and how far it's come since then, and what you've been able to pull off and everybody's been able to pull off with all of these productions, and let's talk about some of the productions. It's going to be at Unscrewed Theater. Allana, you're very familiar with Unscrewed Theater. You do stuff there all the time. Tell them what else you do down there, because that's where you do some of your improv, obviously. But other than that, you have an event that happens there a lot.
Yes. So the fourth Friday of every month at 9 p.m., I run a improv game show called Make Me Laugh, which is basically us stealing things from Taskmaster and After Midnight and all of our favorite like improv shows and panel shows, and we kind of just meld them all together to create one show where we pit 3 improvisers against each other, and hilarity ensues, and somebody will eventually win. I have played it 5 times, haven't won yet.
Oh, look
Yeah.
at that. Home field advantage doesn't quite work.
It does not help.
At least
You're
we know it's
like,
not rigged.
Susan,
It is
True.
not rigged.
Susan Lucci of the comedy world.
Oh yeah, always nominated, never winning.
What a great reference.
It is.
The kids will love that one.
They
Susan
love
Lucci.
Can you explain that to somebody born in the 90s? Because I'm lost.
Well, edit that. Hit the
No,
hit
that's
the button.
comedy gold because that's your audience anyway. Let me tell you, because I love the people that do come out because you got a great cross section of the audience when people do come out. I do always find that older people do support a lot of shows, and especially shows like this, because let's also now leave it to Collin to throw some shade. Collin, she's doing improv comedy. What do you think of that? Because this is sketch comedy, and often that is sometimes confused to being the same thing. Sometimes people think that with like stand-up versus improv. There's a little bit of a battle. What's your feelings on some of this? Because it's a sketch comedy show.
Yeah, is this live?
Yeah.
Just go.
You know, the difference between improv and sketch is improv, you get the prompts right away, and you have to create something out of nothing immediately. With sketch comedy, you have an idea, you write a script. So there's no needing to play off somebody and hoping they're going to be on the same page as you. You make that page. You get the laughs where you know you want them, and with improv, you have to hope everything works at once right then and there.
That's a big difference, and it is a big part of it. And just like what you said, it's movie making. You're just making these shorts. That's what they are. What is your feeling as far as like the best length for a sketch? What do you feel it is? Go ahead, Allana. Go ahead.
Yeah.
It is 3.5 minutes long.
You think 3.5 minutes
I think
right
it is
on the button?
3.5 minutes.
I don't know
think
how I
maybe
knew you were going to say
4.
that.
Maybe 4. It's because every time we were in hard editing, I'm like, we could cut this entire paragraph. And they're like, no, we need this. And I'm like, are you sure? You sure we need this? I will cut everything. I think the best length, I think our funniest stuff have been the shorter guys, with the exception of McCusker.
Thank you.
And that was
that's live though.
That was live. Oh, yeah. No, video? Yeah, 3 minutes. I think you can only hold, nowadays, a person's attention.
Oh, do you feel
For
this
3
about
minutes.
the videos versus live is different? For
Yeah, well-
length, like as far as carrying a show?
Yeah, I mean, our
That's interesting.
yeah. You finish.
Oh, no. I think there's a difference because I think you can easily tune out a video
Yes.
that's longer than 3 minutes,
Well,
even
so
if
there
you're
you go.
watching it in a theater with people. Like, how many times are you in a movie theater and you see someone whip out their phone?
It's true.
But when you're live, people have to pay attention, and you have the community around you, especially if you're in the audience where everyone's like leaning in, they're watching, so you automatically are paying attention. You can get away with doing longer stuff.
There's an
Yeah,
energy.
I think it has to warrant it. Like if there's a lot of story and character building, like you're making a short film, I think 5 minutes it works. But if it's just a joke that you're kind of trying to illustrate, you don't need to go 5 minutes with that. I think it's if you've gotten as far as you're going to go and you've heightened it as much as you can.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
Know when to stop when so
Again, less is more. Sometimes that
Yeah.
editing.
So if it's something that has a narrative, I guess that's where it could get longer. Like I'm
Sure.
thinking like Oppenheimer, that was like 5 minutes, but it had a lot going on.
It had
There's a narrative.
Oppenheimer had a lot going on, and then it had that switch at the end where then it became an action movie out of
Yeah,
nowhere.
yeah.
Spoiler
So-
alert. Hang on a second.
Watch it on
Jeez.
YouTube. I'm so sorry, guys.
Keep Tucson Sketchy right there on YouTube.
And one of my favorite things is we can write a good sketch. Like I wrote this baseball sketch. It's probably going to be like 2 minutes long. I'm told in the meeting, let's make it longer. Let's see how long we can make this.
Yeah.
We need a little league team. That was the hurdle. It's the
Ooh.
best. It's the sketch that I'm most excited about. It's like those movies you hear about that never got made.
Okay.
That's this. This is the one. I'm so excited about it. But we
Well,
need a little league team.
One day, because again, you've had a child actor or two. Sometimes you're gonna ask your friends that have kids, like, listen, can your kid be in a thing? We need a kid to be just.
We need
it'll be-
lots of kids. A
Yeah.
whole team.
But for this, you never know. Everything's possible because the more you grow, the more opportunity you do get for this sort of stuff. So that is a good goal, because I will go back to something when it comes to the TV station where we're doing the news show. I remember someone pitched the hologram Remember? Because the holograms are going around, and they derail a meeting because now nothing's better than a hologram. And it goes to what you're saying about we don't have strobe lights. So you have to use your imagination to make this work within the limits of what happens. And sometimes it happens even just in the writing and pitching. People will pitch them. It's like, yes, but how will you do that?
Right.
You know?
A horse. Yeah.
Right.
How are we gonna do a horse?
Exactly. Things just like that. So a little league team, that's quite a hurdle. But at the same time, the more you've grown, I've seen the more opportunities you've gotten with like almost big goals like that of bigger shoots, more people involved. And maybe that leads to my next question, because that is the thing about this. It's all about getting together. How do people get involved with Keep Tucson Sketchy if perhaps they are the type of funny person that wants to get involved, or it is as simple as like just being in a video sketch? Sometimes it is that, being a fun extra.
We could really use that, just people who want to act. You know, like having a wide variety of actors is really important. So how to get involved, just you can send us an email, keeptucsonsketchy@gmail.com.
There you go, that easy.
Send us any samples and anything you got to let us know what you're interested in doing. And I think is there more?
No,
that's it.
Yeah, we have a Discord that we talk through. So the idea is we get you in there and get you going. Very low.
There's
I know, because it is
low
just
barrier.
It's a lot of low barriers. A lot of people just don't realize that some of this stuff exists, because it's hard to broadcast past everything that's going on in the world. Even Netflix is your competition on a Saturday night as well. Saturday, August 30th at Unscrewed Theater.
Yeah, and can I say real quick, the best way is come to the show, because we've gained so many members of people coming to the show and saying, I want to do that.
Exactly right.
And then they talk to us at the end, and because we've had so many people join the show from that. So
That's a good point.
We also get we've had maybe 20 to 30 different actors and writers come in and out in the last 5 years that I've been in it.
Yes.
There is no oh, you're in it, you have to stay in it. No, you come in for a show, you like it, great. Or you're like, oh, I want to be in the show, but I can't. It's like, all right, there's always next time.
There's always the next one. Because how many shows do you get to do a year? Sure. Are we getting a little preview of things at Tucson Comic-Con?
Yes.
All right. So even Tucson Comic-Con.
And that's the night before the show, August 29th.
Fantastic.
Yep.
There you go. There's a little bit of that. So if you are headed to Tucson Comic-Con, which you all should go to that, you should check out Keep Tucson Sketchy at that. I'm sure all the details will be on their website and some of these things. Check out the panels. I want to know, what are some of your favorite sketches? Because that's always fun and important. So tell me what some of your favorite sketches are. Colin, I want to start with you.
I'm going to be selfish.
No, you should be.
That's all right.
I have a right for this sketch.
McCusker.
It's called McCusker. And I am a no-nonsense cop who doesn't play by the rules. And when Joel wrote this sketch, and when he wrote it, I loved it.
Yeah.
He's like, I want you to play McCusker. I'm like, thank you. I want to play McCusker.
It's fun when that happens, too.
Yeah,
Because
it
sometimes
was-
you're right for people. You
Totally.
can kind of tell.
And I did with that one, and was hoping it would go that way. So I was happy that everything worked out.
That's hysterical.
That's my favorite, too.
Yeah. Oh, look at
and
that. Look at that.
Joel's in it, and he plays, I call him Chief, but he's not the Chief. I just keep calling him Chief. And it's just great how we have this really heated back and forth throughout the entire sketch.
It almost reminds me of the Scrooge and Cratchit energy, because
100%.
one is nonsense and the other is trying to hold things together.
Yeah, classic straight man. That is always some of the most fun dynamic to me. You do play that sort of thing well. It's fun to have that, right? It's fun to have that dynamic in a comedy sketch. You both star in another one that's like an army one, a military one, where again, you're kind of similar, off the rails, but very funny. So funny. Because again, I'll always say this, it's the writing. It's the writing.
I will say with McCusker though, and why people should have been there for it. The acting and everything was chef's kiss, but also just the different things we had going on stage while it was going. There were spotlights, there were cigarette smoke, there were other officers on stage just looking at him, and he was throwing chairs and stuff. To watch all of it.
Yeah.
You should come to the show.
Well said. That's a good point. Again, August 30th.
What's your favorite?
And that's what I was going to say. At Unscrewed Theater.
She's trying to get out of this.
McCusker 3 ways, dude.
No, I'm going to talk about my favorite, which is the one I wrote, which is Chef Renee.
There you go. So again, it's your
okay.
favorite people to be and your favorite characters to play. That's fine.
Oh,
That's a fine way to answer this question.
I will say it was Chef Renee, and it was because we were during it was because of lockdown. We were in pandemic mode, and we were just coming up with as many sketches as we could. So that sketch is all about this renowned chef who can't find a can opener.
Love it.
And that's all it is. I will also say, though, as another sketch that is live, that I wrote, Randy and the Beast.
That's a good one, too.
Was that the musical?
That is
Yeah.
the musical.
Okay, you put on a full musical. That is a parody of Beauty and the Beast, where it is like the other furniture, one being like a toilet that comes to life. And then you put on a full magical kick line and a whole dance number. That's insane.
But it's the only musical one we've had so far.
And it is off the charts.
Yep.
Okay? Let me tell you, production, you got to see these folks because you got to keep Tucson sketchy. It's one of the best things ever. Now, the other part is I got to really lean into real quick. Let's also give a warning. Pretty explicit. Let's not forget that part.
It ranges from a PG-13 to an R. I think depending on the show. We've had
I'd
a few that were like,
oh, yeah.
and it just happened to be maybe one in particular that I can think of.
I can think of three, but
Okay,
go on.
all right. Well,
One oh, man. Oh.
Yeah, no,
it's
okay,
adult.
stop.
It's for adults.
It's for
It's
adults.
at 9 p.m. You're gonna bring your kids out to a
That's
show
right.
at 9
Leave your
p.m.
kids in the car. No, don't do that. Leave your kids at home because you got to keep Tucson sketchy and watch this. It is very fun because you don't see comedy like this as much anymore. So sometimes I do think we could call what you are doing, dare I say it, brave. So
Oh.
I'm glad you said that, Frank. Because we are, I will say, because when people hear that, we're punching up type people.
There you go.
Because that's it's not cruel humor. We don't like that.
Oh, you know what's actually a really good sketch, too? I'm just going to keep talking. No. Visit Tucson.
that is the number one.
Oh, that's our that's our most watched.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you might have seen this one. It's a parody, which is excellent of, just someone moving to Tucson, another person they find in love. And then it is like a Visit Tucson thing. And it's very funny because you really nail a lot of what makes this place what it is. And that thing did. You got to see that one. It's got 10,000 views on the YouTube. Very funny. I saw so many people share it. Visit Tucson and absolutely shared it as well because it was cinema. When you do nail it, you nail it. If I can give a shout out to maybe one of my new favorite sketches, it's going to be Mr. Car Wash. That one's going to debut at your next event. I got to see some of the previews of it.
Maybe even Comic-Con.
We're
gonna do one. We're gonna do a new one, at least one new one.
There you go. So again, and that's the 29th.
And
All
that
right?
one did have, we were talking about explicit lines. That one has an explicit line that I fought for because they were going to take it out.
About the turtle wags?
About the
Oh,
turtle
you
wax.
savage.
Yeah.
The
Glad you stuck up
first
for
time
that.
I read that, I'm like, that is hilarious.
It's
Because
so
the
well written.
character says that, and the response is just, oh my God, from the other character. I'm like,
As
we
it
have
should
to
be.
keep it.
Because again, that's what makes comedy funny because it's that Kate that she's like, it's so hard to be, like, I can't laugh at all to any of this. Like, it's hard to be
right.
the straight person in like a thing.
And
Like,
that line he's talking about too, like I remember when it was first read and everyone laughed, like loud laughs, which doesn't happen all the time. Where you get a real, like, true belly laugh. And like when you hear that, it's kind of like, I don't know, you have to keep it in, right?
Yep.
that's fair.
You can't argue with it.
There you go. Look at that. See, they are. It's not them. All right. That's not it. It's comedy. Don't blame them. Funny's funny. So why don't you come on down? Go see Keep Tucson Sketchy at Unscrewed Theater, because today we made friends with Allana Lopez, Collin Chomiak, and Joel Foster of Keep Tucson Sketchy. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Powers.
Oh, I'll take it. This was Lifestyle Tucson. What a great conversation with my friends at Keep Tucson Sketchy, who have evolved into a 501c3 nonprofit. Good for them. You can get a preview of everything that they're up to at Tucson Comic-Con on August 29th. I hope you're headed to that. Or go check out the show at Unscrewed Theater on August 30th at 9 p.m. Go get tickets over at Eventbrite. You can follow them over on all their socials at Keep Tucson Sketchy, especially over on YouTube. Follow anytime on demand over on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Blip Blap, and Zipsorp, all the places that great radio shows turn into podcasts, and especially on YouTube at Lifestyle Tucson. And I'm your BFF, your best Frank forever, Frank Powers. And until next week, toot toot Tucson, I love you the most.